You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, I guess if you were looking for a last-minute Father's Day gift, a near no-hitter today for the Astros is about as close as you're going to get. Welcome into the Locked On Astros Postcast here on a Father's Day Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Thank you for taking some time this afternoon to join us on the Locked On Astros Postcast. We're, of course, with you after every single game, with you all week this week. And the Astros, well, I tweeted it out just a moment ago. The roller coaster of emotions, and I even mentioned this on yesterday's show, continues with this team. One day they make you feel like they're the worst thing in the world. The next day they suck you back in and make you think for a brief second that maybe they'll actually find a way to turn something around. I'm not there, but I'm just saying on a daily basis, this is what this team has done to us all year long. Today's episode, by the way, is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. So today, Ronel Blanco, 7 no-hit innings. No issue with taking him out when you take him out. Through 90-something pitches at that point of the ball game. He kind of labored through the fifth, walked the bases loaded there. A little bit trickier to get through those last couple of innings. But the story of the Astros season has been for a while, where would they be without this guy? Honestly, where would they be without Ronel Blanco? I don't know. They'd be in a bad spot, I can tell you that, based on the way that they've pitched this year. And he's been awesome. And outside of course, the night where he had the sticky substance, which was just rosin and sweat on his hand, everything about his season's almost been flawless. 7-2 now with a 2.43 ERA on the season for Blanco, who's just been brilliant this year. What I liked today out of Blanco was his command of his. He's had great command all year. That's been the biggest difference for him this season is his ability to command his pitches, but his command of his fastball today was brilliant. And I think that's something that is really elevated his game to a different level. But having that change up is just downright phenomenal. And this team has been saved. Their bacon's been saved quite a bit by him. If they want to climb out of this, and again, I'm not going to sit here and be a person that still thinks they're going to do it. They're going to have everybody kind of follow suit here with what's going on with Blanco today. And I'm looking at you, Spencer Arrighetti, after the way that you go. The Astros have not, by the way, announced their rotation for the White Sox series. We'll talk about that series coming up in a little bit. Verlander apparently is a possibility for Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll see what happens with that. But if Ronel Blanco could pitch every day, probably be okay with that. Probably enjoy that quite a bit based on the way that he's pitched this year. And this is the kind of thing, and that's what it really stinks that this has happened this year when your team is bad and not performing to the level that everybody expected them to when the season started. You always look for guys like this in a regular season, somebody to come out, and Dusty Baker used to always say this. He goes, I'm always looking for somebody to come out and surprise me. And they've talked about Blanco. And I'll give Dana Brown this for a guy that, hadn't been in the organization for long. For moment one of him getting here, he was like, I like Ronel Blanco. I like to see Ronel Blanco, get a chance to see what he could do. And, last year got his brief little shot at starting some. Walks were always the big issue, not getting deep into the games. And, he didn't have this changeup as well, which has really been the biggest change and the biggest piece for him to taking this step forward like he has this season for the Astros. But they've given him his opportunity. He's taken the ball and run with it. It would just, again, be nice if you had a baseball team that was worthy of having players perform like this. You hold your breath anytime anybody goes out there, given their health situation now, but really with him. He has no history of it here, but You hope that he stays healthy all year. The club keeps rolling when he's out there. And those things matter to getting some sort of good momentum going. Having a guy that could be a stopper to an extent, like when things go bad. Right now, you feel good about Blanco consistently, and you feel good about Hunter Brown consistently based off of past performances. Verlander, not really at the moment. Fromber, you're just never going to be completely all the way like, yeah, Fromber's going to come out here today and dominate. He's going to be awesome. You can go out and give up 6 runs, walk a bunch of guys, do whatever it is that's bad Fromber stuff. But Blanco's been Mr. Steady Eddie this season. It would have been great to watch him throw another no-hitter. I'm not going to lie about that. I mean, that would have been awesome. It really is. It's that 5th inning that chased the opportunity of that, or the possibility of that being a thing today, by walking the bases loaded there and having to, use a bunch of pitches like he did. Yeah, Ryan Presley came in and gave up a hit. It is what it is. Sure would be nice. And now look, this is the battle that I always even have with myself when it comes to how you evaluate a baseball game. Would you like to see Josh Hader come in and not give up runs and not allow guys on base every single time? Yeah. Get a 4-run lead to protect. Did you protect the 4-run lead? Yeah, that's fine. But it's not nice when these guys come in here and give up runs, and he's been a little lately. He got really good there for a minute, but he's slowly, or I should say, he's had some. I need to pull up his numbers exactly. Had some outings recently that are just kind of, some traffic and whatnot that you don't like to see. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 out of his last 4 outings for Hader, he's given up runs. But overall, in the month of, in the month of June, he's got an ERA right now of 4.76. That's because he's given up 3 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Threw 26 pitches today to get through that. But I'm not going to get too picky, and I think it's silly to get too picky and to be nitpicky when you win a baseball game. Especially for the fact that this baseball team just has to get wins, right? They have to win series, and they have to find a way to stack series wins. And yesterday sucked. Getting kicked in the teeth like they did so early. Like, I have a nephew that doesn't watch a ton of baseball, but yesterday sends me a text like, oh my God, what happened to the Astros? Like, it's bad when you get the casual people that are like, what happened at 10-0 after 3 innings? That was as low as it gets. And that makes you think that this team has got it as bad as it gets. You have to bounce back and win these baseball games. And it's not going to fix anything. It doesn't cure my thoughts. I know it doesn't cure a lot of your thoughts. A lot of you still are on the, I don't want to call it negative train, but on the train of this baseball team. Look, they're struggling right now. Simple as that. They are struggling to be consistent at all this year, and they haven't found it. But again, the good news is that today, they had a starter go out there, and he went out there and did his thing. Simple as that. And they got the win, and they got enough offense. And look, Jose Altuve doing something against Kenta Maeda. Pretty darn spectacular. Let's talk about the roller coaster of emotions that this team has put us on this year, because there's been a lot of years of great baseball here. There hasn't been a roller coaster like this, like I mentioned. Just where you're at on this roller coaster today after a win over the Tigers, securing the series win, which is always, of course, important to get. The Astros now 33-39 on the year. They're not. I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. They're not going to win the AL West. I'm sorry. There's no chance of it at this point. Yes, and I'm declaring that after a win on June the 16th. But that's just how I feel. You're not going to change that. Rangers and Mariners, by the way, scoreless after 1 up in Seattle. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that the Mariners probably win again today because the Rangers stink too. And Seattle will keep its 9-game lead over the Astros and add another game to the lead over the Rangers. The Astros at the moment are 1 game back of in the American League West for the 2nd place spot. Let's talk about that roller coaster in just a brief moment here in the Locked On Astros Postcast. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trade. SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service with the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every single time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of pros, thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Before we get back to the Astros discussion, I want to tell you about FanDuel, the best place to go put some money on the games. And right now you can get in on the action, whether it's the NBA, MLB. Before you know it, you'll have football games back as well. But right now, summertime means, again, that baseball, the NBA Finals, and more. And you can bet all in and all at FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 you can use to bet anything from the NBA Finals MVP to who's going to hit one out of the park. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and add a big win to your summer bucket list. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Locked On. Sorry, I'm right here. I had to take a sip of water. Locked On Astros Postcast rolling along after the Astros get a 4-1 win over the Detroit Tigers today, securing the series win over the Motor City, whatever. Do they have a nickname? Do the Tigers have a nickname for themselves? I don't know. The Motor City baseball team. By the way, if you're like me, you're watching the U.S. Open as you do this too. If you are interested, Rory McIlroy just tied for the lead at 6 under. So DeChambeau is back there in the fair or in the rough behind him on the par 5. So if he plays it right, he'll take the lead right back. But there's your U.S. Open update on the Astros postcast here today. I'm going right back to the couch and watching the rest of this. I'm not a father. I'm a dog dad. I'm an uncle that raises a couple of boys that live with me. But I do hope that you guys are enjoying your Father's Day today, that your loved ones have taken care of you, and it's a good day for you. Simple as that. And you get to enjoy the golf like I'm about to do, sprawled out on the couch, probably snacking on. This is my one day of the week where I snack like a fat person, and that's just, hopefully that's what you're doing as well. I enjoyed the start to our day with the Astros, of course, getting this victory. But man, oh man, I'm telling you, this just roller coaster that they take us on as fans is just, it almost makes you nauseous to an extent. Like, one day it's so bad, the next day it's good. But here's the biggest issue of it, is that the roller coaster, I know that this isn't how roller coasters work. I'm not a big roller coaster person. I have not been on a lot in my life because I don't enjoy them. But from what I know, in my brief experience of doing them, roller coasters don't go like this. They go like this and like this a lot. And do some loops. Nothing flat. I wouldn't mind them as much as they were, had a good section of flat. And I say flat because there's no consistency to it. And that's been what the issue has been all season long. If they could just, here's where I am today on the 16th of June. Figure out what you're going to be. Either be a team that's not going to make the postseason, not even flirt with it, or be a team that's going to figure out and make it. And have a streak one way or the other. Either have a long losing streak and get this over with, and we can just enjoy watching baseball the rest of the season and not worry about October implications. Or win a bunch of games in a row and get it on the right track and make us think and get it going towards, worrying about October again. That's where I am. Piss or get off the pot, right? One or the other. I think that's as simple as I can put it. But I'm not going to lie, for my mental health. And look, we've been lucky for a long time. We've been fortunate with this baseball team for a long time. We haven't had to sit back and sweat regular seasons all the time. I mean, 2015 was a gift to be back in the postseason. So that one wasn't one where you were sweating it out, even though you clinched on the last day of the season when you lost. 2017 was a cakewalk to the AL West title. 2018 was a cakewalk to the AL West title overall. 2019, easy. 2020, they backed in because they put 2 teams from every division in, and the Astros had a losing record that year and made the postseason, then almost made it to the World Series in the COVID year. 2021, I had to go back and look, but I feel like they had a pretty decent enough lead in the division. I don't think that they really got challenged, even though they only won like 95 games that year. 2022, of course, blitzed everybody. That was easy. 2023, that was stressful. That one they just got lucky on. The ball went their way, and sometimes that's what it takes in sports. And they won 90 games. But this year has been nothing like that, obviously. It's been nothing but bad overall for this baseball team, considering what you think of them. I just want to know. I just want to know. I don't want to keep living in this world where one day I think one thing and the next day I think another. I just want to know. I'm a person that likes consistency in my life. And I get it. It's sports. You're never going to get consistency. It's sports. It's unpredictable. For as much predicting as we can do of it and using data and all that stuff, like there's an element of it still to this day that is completely unpredictable. And that's why we love it, right? But I'm tired of it. I need to know. I need some peace in my life. This was supposed to be the month where they really figure it out as well, like we've talked about. The month of June, the schedule, so light overall for this baseball team. It's going to get even lighter this week when they go and take on the worst. They're the worst team in the American League, correct? The Chicago White Sox. I know we talked about this yesterday. 19 wins. Yes, they are the worst team in the American League. The worst team in baseball. 19-53 are the White Sox. Their catching situation is going pretty well. Corey Lee's been okay this year. Martin Maldonado's not doing anything. They'll probably try and send him back on the plane with the Astros, and they're going to say, no, we're good. We got Yiner. We got Victor Caratini. We don't need Maldonado back. But this was supposed to be the month where this team completely feasted. And so far in the month, they are, off the top of my head, I'm just looking at it. Sorry, the golf got me. Bryson's going to birdie. Par 5, like I told you. He's going to be tied, or he's going to take the lead back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 and 6 in the month of June. Not good enough. Not good enough for what the schedule was this month. Simple as that. And we all know that. They know that. This is going to be the telling month. This is going to be the month where they're either going to figure it out or not. And guess what? We're now past the halfway point. It is the 16th of June. We're through the 16th of June. And they have a total left in this month of how many games they got left in this month? 3, 6, 8, 11 games. Over this 11-game stretch where they're going to play, or excuse me, is that right? 3, 6, 8, 11. Over this 11-game stretch where they're going to play the White Sox, the Orioles, the Rockies, and the Mets. Can they win 8 games? Can they win 8 of 11? They should. When you're playing the Rockies and the Mets and the White Sox, even playing the Orioles for 3, you're not. I would imagine you're not going to get swept out at home against them. You could probably pull off 1. If they can't go 8-3 the rest this way, which would put them at what, 15-9 on the month? That would be a successful month. That would be what the month of June needed to be. I don't want to have, complete optimism about it. They still have to do it in front of my eyeballs for me to believe it's going to happen. And so far this year, they've just not done that. We all know that. Nothing about them has been consistent. It's who the 2024 Houston Astros are and have been. So, if you can reel off 8 of the next 11, which, again, that includes, you reel off 8 of 11, I'm allowing you one loss in each of the 3-game series. That's the White Sox, the Orioles, and the Mets. I'm accounting for you sweeping the Rockies. You're going to have to do that. And then you just got to win 2 of 3 in every series outside of that. Or sweep 1 and lose 2 of 3. Whatever. Can they? I hope. I know you guys hope as well. Let's talk a little bit about that White Sox series. Starts Tuesday in Chicago. Just how important it is for the Astros. We'll do that next. Are you struggling to close deals? Business-to-business selling is tougher than ever, and that's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligent platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/lockedon. That is linkedin.com/lockedon for a free 60-day trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/lockedon and get started. Locked On Astros Postcast. I'm sorry, I'm battling over here with a dry spot in my throat that keeps coming at me right when we're doing these. So we're going to get through it for the rest of the way, and then I'm going to get my butt back to the couch. This is where I'm at today. I think a frozen pizza is going to get thrown in the oven here in a minute, and I do not like frozen pizza. That's just where I am. I'm going to be lazy and enjoy this golf the rest of the afternoon, which Bryson DeChambeau did take the lead back. Hey, if you're new to the channel today, the Locked On Sports Houston page, please hit the subscribe button. We're creeping towards 1,000. We're going to get there one of these days. You guys have been great sharing the channel, hitting the button, doing it all. I think we're at 940. 60 to go. Let's make that happen this week. Please? That'd be cool. It helps the channel grow. It helps get us further out there and makes the people come watch with you. And then you guys can fight in the comments. That's my favorite part, that you guys can fight in the comments. Are you doing any fighting today in the comments? I don't know. I haven't looked. Doesn't look like you guys are. Doesn't look like you guys are fighting with each other today. Boring, but it's a dad's day. And you know what? You don't need to fight every day. And then also on top of that, the Astros won. They got a victory over the Detroit Tigers. They got this White Sox series coming up here for the next 3 days in Chicago, which, by the way, if you've never been to that stadium in Chicago, the White Sox Stadium, don't waste your time. Sucks. It's the White Sox, though, and it's in the crappiest part of town. I went there for the ALDS in 2021, and then I was back because my wife at the time had to travel to Chicago like once a month for work. I went back the next summer, and I took the train out there, and I rode it actually with Robert Ford, the radio broadcaster out there. And let me just tell you something. I had never feared for my life more than I did in that 20-minute train ride from downtown Chicago to the White Sox ballpark in the middle of the day than I did the first day I took it. Don't buy. If you're going to go, Uber. Get an Uber. Get a nice Uber, too. Don't just get the regular Uber. Spend some money and get the Uber X or whatever the hell it is. Because some of those Ubers in Chicago, too, are just, it's an interesting city. Nice in some areas, bad in others, but interesting. What matters, though, is that they go to Chicago and they just smoke out the White Sox, which they should do. White Sox, worst team in baseball, 19-53. Like I mentioned earlier, no pitching announcements for the Astros on what the series is going to look like. Look at the White Sox right now. They're losing 3-0 in the top of the third to the Diamondbacks as we're doing this show, and Martin Maldonado's at the plate for them. Do you realize that Martin Maldonado for the White Sox this year has an OPS of 266? That's incredible. That is insane. That you could, he doesn't play much anymore because Corey Lay's kind of been the everyday guy. But, come on. An OPS under 300? How? This will be Martin Maldonado's last season playing Major League Baseball. There's no way it won't. But this is a series that you should smoke them. Even for as inconsistent as you've been this year. The White Sox are going to throw Jonathan Cannon on Tuesday when the series starts. Garrett Crochet on Wednesday is going to be tough. He's going to be a trade at some point this year, I think. And then on Thursday, it'll be Chris Flexen, who the Astros have some experience with from his time with the Seattle Mariners. So, look, simply put, they got to sweep that series. I think that's the only thing that they can do this week against those Chicago White Sox. We'll be with you for all three of them Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday afternoon, for the day game. So make sure you join us all week long, wrapping up the Astros, hopefully victories against the White Sox. Enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. Again, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We'll talk to you guys Tuesday night after Astros and White Sox, the Locked On Astros Postcast.